Good evening, and happy Sunday. It's been a beautiful day here in New Mexico. I've had the doors open, of course, with the screen doors closed, because I don't like getting bugs in this house. And I don't want my baby kitties to get outside. Nope. So I am Dawn Reinhardt, and I come in every Sunday as close to 5:30 as I can. Sometimes there's a few delays because we are going through a book called I See You, and it's by author Julie Lee. Okay, and this book is about how compassion and connection saves lives. And don't get me wrong, yes, it does. It has saved many lives, including this girl's. It sure has. And you may see my messy hair. This is au naturel. I showered and I just added a little bit of mousse. I found a new one that is great to just gently hold my curls that are natural and just kind of let it be. So this is au naturel hair. No curling iron, no blow dryer, just me. And Teresa, thank you for joining. Thank you. This is my Sunday, and I come on and read a chapter from the I See You book by Julie Lee. And it's about how compassion and how connection saves lives. It's been a beautiful, beautiful study lesson for everybody that joins me on Sundays. Now, if you would kindly do so and feel so inclined, there is a button on the lower corner that rhymes with care. Go ahead and shine this on out because you don't know who might love to hear this. And for anybody that comes on and does not see that red button up the top that says live, you would be catching this on a replay. Please drop me a comment and let me know that you tuned in with #replay. All right, I want to get started because I hate to hold things up. All right, so let me get my drink to wet my whistle real quick. All righty, this is chapter 13, and this is loving with intensity. I do not know how to love in moderation. My heart breathes a gentle intensity. By Danielle Dobie. Hello, Sandra. Thank you for joining. All right. I was walking out of the dollar store when it happened. Sam was 2 years old, toddling next to the stroller that carried his new baby sister. I'm not sure how exactly it happened, but in a distracted moment when I was looking the opposite direction, my hand slipped off the stroller and it rolled off the curb. I heard Sam's screams before I realized what I had done. I turned to see Sam's terrified face as his chubby little hands, clutching to the handlebars, was trying so desperately to keep the stroller from crashing into the cars driving by. In a mama bear moment of epic proportion, I had the stroller and Sam in my arms in seconds. We were all safe, and I was kicking myself for being so absent-minded. This story makes me teary as I type it, not because of what could have happened if I hadn't grabbed the stroller and Sam in time. Although it was a truly terrifying experience, I cry because of my Sam. I cry because of his intensity. He loved his baby sister, and he knew something bad would happen to her if we didn't stop that stroller. The interesting thing about this story is that Sam was a very mixed up soul that day that Lydia was born. He was only mildly interested in her and absolutely furious with me. My sweet, mild-mannered angel had become something of a short-tempered troll. At 17 months old, Sam took his first steps only days before I went into labor. While recovering from my second C-section, I could not pick him up for 4 weeks. I had to call neighbors to take him in and out of the crib or bathtub, while I was trying to normalize the situation by hugging him on the floor and eating meals together on the ground. He was not happy with the new arrangement. He was receiving less attention than he was used to, and he hadn't seemed to make his mind up about this new baby. But none of that mattered when the stroller went towards the street. We can keep that same Sam intensity when we engage in the work of truly seeing others. It doesn't matter what we think of each other. It matters that we remind each other of our purpose, that we engage in life together. Sam wasn't strong enough to keep that stroller from rolling into the road. He could not do it by himself, but that didn't keep him from trying. His scream was an alarm to someone else, me. It was stronger and more capable of grabbing the stroller in time, but neither of us could have done that without the other. Sam was the siren signaling that something was wrong, and I was the one that could act. When we see someone in distress, we can be the siren, calling for help from others who have the right skill sets to act. Both sirens and skills are needed in the work of saving people, whether it be physically or emotionally. While isolation and disconnect can feel overwhelming in our culture's climate, we need to remember that we don't need to solve it alone. It's not all up to you. It's not all up to me. We can simply grab for the stroller and call out for help. Together. Together we can share each other. Together we can save each other from living lonely lives. I want to tell you about some bad days I've had and how people's intensity kept me hanging on. Jumping in. I will never forget a day when I was emotionally unraveling. My friend walked through the front door and saw me standing there in my living room. I must have looked fatigued and defeated, as I felt. I had nothing to give, no smile to reassure, and no fake words saying that things will be okay. She didn't walk over to greet me. She ran. She grabbed me in her arms and held me tight. You know that awkward part of the hug? The part when we're trying to gauge each other? When the other person is easing up on their grip and starting to go back away to end the hug? None of that was happening on her end. She held me and held me and held me. She hugged me like she wanted to tell me something, but words fell short. I could feel her soul speak to mine. This girl would do or give anything to ease a small part of my burden. She taught me what it means to get intense and jump in when people need us. Because I was the recipient of that hug, I can tell you what it did for me. It served as a beacon of hope in the middle of darkness. Her intense love for me in one of my worst moments reminded me that I was worth fighting for. She was fighting for me, and it made me want to fight too. We are all going to meet people who need a hug like that. Don't let go too quick. Let it be awkward. Who even cares? At the end of the day, There will be no regrets for loving hard. A love sandwich. On a different rough day, I guess you could say I've had a few. I was feeling isolated at home with my 2 toddlers to interact with. Just them. I needed some company. The last thing I wanted to do was invite myself to someone's house. But I looked at my precious little ones and remembered that saving face did not matter. I needed social interaction to stay healthy. I needed that gift of mine, and I opened my mouth. I invited myself to my sister-in-law's house to spend the day. When the kids and I arrived, 2 sister-in-laws met in the living room and asked how I was doing. I began to speak, and then the sobbing came. And the whole dam broke. My emotions took over, and my body responded. My physical limbs began to collapse, and I crumbled towards the ground. In an instant, one sister-in-law was holding me up from the back and one from the front. It was a love sandwich. They cried, supporting my body as it shook, weeping. These 2 women physically held me up when I was all out of strength. That's seeing someone. When my sister-in-laws did what my sister-in-laws did that day didn't cure my psychological fatigue. It was a moment of lightness, literally and figuratively speaking. My heavy body was supported by their embrace. My mental vision of darkness was permeated with a glimpse of light. The light inside me felt almost non-existent, but 2 women had light to share, and it felt around me as they held me up, and I cried within me. This moment was symbolic for me, as I felt those women shoulder my burden. My sister-in-laws and I were 3 very different people. We grew up in 3 different families. We're interested in different things, and we laughed at different jokes. We have gotten frustrated with one another. We have tried again, and we have forgiven. Let me tell you something. In a love sandwich, none of those differences mattered. We can't let past disagreements or differences of any kind keep us in participating in holding each other up, whether it's literal or figurative. We can love with intensity. We can snuggle in and engage in the power that comes from a love sandwich. We might see our position shift in a love sandwich. If we are the one in the center over time, we will likely find ourselves on the outside supporting someone else. If we are on the outside, there may come a time when we need to fill that space in the middle. We all need to get love sandwiched once in a while. Just a second, I gotta drink again. Staggering breaks. While we can love with intensity, there will be times when our heart feels tired. An important mentor shared an analogy with me that I have never forgotten. A specialist in the Army, he observed intense teamwork exercises on the base. Let me explain how this particular drill works. Picture a massive log, something like a telephone pole. Now picture a squad holding the log over their head. Now picture them jogging in a line, formation across a very long distance. It's an exercise that requires extreme mental and physical endurance. It would be impossible for one individual to complete it alone, or even together without breaks. The only way to complete the goal is for each soldier to have a resting period during the run. As the group carries the log above their heads, one recruit pulls out of the line and jogs in the back, giving his arms a break from lifting the log. The short rest refreshes him just enough to be able to jump back in and carry that log with his comrades. Then another recruit does the same thing. They rotate through the soldiers in order to stagger their individual breaks without interrupting the forward progression to the destination. To be successful, each person must carry to their limit of strength and then rest when they can't give any more. If each individual does this with precision, the group will never have to set the log down or stop jogging. They will reach their destination, fatigued but victorious. Each of us will have the opportunity to carry burdens in life that will inevitably bring. Sometimes it will be our own burden we carry. Sometimes it will be someone else's that we're lifting. No doubt, in an intense workout, we are part of, and to be successful, everyone needs reprieve sometimes. Nobody can carry and run forever without burning out. Room for dessert? In the film Finding Forrester, Sean Connery portrays an accomplished novelist. Upon him reading the National Enquirer, his pupil asks him, "How come a guy like you wastes his time reading the National Enquirer? It's trash. You should be reading the Times." Sean Connery responds, "I read the Times for dinner. But this is dessert." To love with intensity, we have to make room for dessert. My dessert is an evening on the couch watching a movie with popcorn and a Diet Coke. What's yours? My friend works with terminally ill cancer patients as her full-time job. She absolutely loves it. But when she gets home, she does not want to watch movies about cancer. Why? Because her job is cancer. She knows that she has to take a break from cancer or she won't be able to perform and love with the amount of intensity her patients needs. When she goes home, she takes a break from her heaviness of her job. She watches comedies, not dramas. Her full-time job helping cancer patients is her dinner. Watching funny movies is her dessert. Laughing at comedy helps her rest up and come back to work the next day, refreshed and eager to be fully present with her patients. When we make room for dessert, we re-energize so we can love with intensity another day. It is with this same intensity and awareness of our limits that we need to love the people around us. We don't have to deprive ourselves of the breaks or dessert. In fact, we won't be successful if we do. We will be victorious when we balance loving and intensity and resting when we need to regroup. Taking breaks is a way to create healthy boundaries for ourselves so we can see people better. We can carry a log, take a break, and hop back in. The bottom line. The connections we create in moments of crisis will change our relationships with people forever. When we jump in to help someone hurting and staggering, our breaks. Let me start that part again. I got that all mixed up. When we jump in to help someone hurting and stagger our breaks, we can love with greater intensity. Wow. This was absolutely beautiful. Loving with intensity is something I do. I do. And I have love for so many people. Kenitra, I absolutely love you. You are a very precious and inspiring friend to me. And I felt it too as I get a little teary-eyed. I apologize. And here, now I can take my glasses off because I'm not reading anymore. I know this book is just full of things we know deep inside. I know it's within us. But sometimes with the weight of the world in our lives, right, they get buried. And the weight that COVID added did detach us from a lot of the things that were so warm and fuzzy inside of us, right? That we needed to be reminded of these things. And this book is just awesome goodness, right? Awesome, awesome, awesome goodness. I absolutely feel I would wither away without connections. I would wither away without my friends, right? I need connections. Really, we all do, right? We need to see one another, right? And what it takes to see someone is really just slowing down for a moment, right? Being in the moment, listening to what they say, so you can connect on such a more deep level, and the friendships become stronger as we intertwine, right? Because really, we can't live without those connections, right? When we're pulled apart, it's a fracture. And what we're trying to do is bring it back together, where we can all be connected. Absolutely, Teresa. I keep it real. I do. I am passionate about connecting with people. I am passionate about helping people through many different factors of my life, whether it's through sharing my stories, reading an awesome book to connect with people, right? We have been missing connections because we get locked in our homes. And this platform right here, right, the one we're talking on, is allowing us to bring it back together. And that's a connection I don't want to see us ever, ever, ever let go. Because this time was so much unknown, we need these connections because we cannot go through life alone. We can't. We can't. And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna buy an extra copy of this book. Okay? And then when we're all done with this, and look at this, that's all we have left. I'm gonna see who all has shined this, who all has been on these lives with me. And I'm going to do a drawing and I'm going to give away one of these books to somebody. Because this is the kind of book you're going to want to have and you're going to want to reread it. You are going to want to reread it. Because it is that good. It really is that good. And for those that have been along from chapter 1, right? You know the goodness that this book brings. And I do have all of the chapters out on YouTube. So if anybody wants a link to that, let me know, because you can start at chapter 1 and get caught up. Just type YouTube in the comments and I will message you the link to my YouTube so you can listen from chapter 1 all the way up to, what did we just finish? Chapter 13. Because I put them all on YouTube. That way they're easier to find than having to search my profile, right? We put them all in one place. And I've already picked out the book that I'll read when we're all done with this, because it's another one that I think everybody's going to love differently. All right, Teresa, I will send you an instant message with a link to my YouTube, okay? And again, anybody that wants a link to my YouTube channel so that they can listen from chapter 1 all the way up, put YouTube in the comments. That helps me know who all I need to share that with. All right? And I can't believe I came on Au Naturel hair. No, this was just I had to do some running around today. I had to go fill my CO2 tank, my small one, because it ran out. I had some prescriptions to pick up, so I just went and I just throw on, this is just a little CC cream mixed with BB cream, tiny bit of the peach palette, 3-in-1 palette, some mascara and some lips. Call it good. It's simple, simple, simple. Oh my gosh, and wait till you guys see what's coming up Wednesday. I've already planned out up through Wednesday of my week. I'm not done, but wait till you guys see Wednesday. It's going to be amazing. It is. All right, guys. Thank you so much, truly, for joining me on my Sunday afternoon. I hope you guys have a very beautiful evening. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe until I see you guys tomorrow. No transfer. It is that good. Good night, guys.